My friends, I've got a special message for you. I've got a special guest I'm going to have come on here right now. Hope you're doing amazing. And I'm going to look for him to bring him on right now. Hold on a second. Got a powerful guest coming on. You're not going to miss this. Let's see if I can figure this out. Hope you're doing amazing. Very grateful for you today. My connection is being slow. Let's see if this works. Thank you for that last post. Yeah, my last post. I want you guys to network and connect and share your gifts and see if you can find some opportunities to connect along the way for your businesses, your career. What's up, Aggie? Good to see you. What's up, Australia? Okay, I've got a special guest coming on. I got to make sure that this will work. My Instagram is being fickle. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, special guest coming on live. We'll see if this works. Waiting. Here we go. Yeah.
Hey,
My man.
how you doing, Lewis?
We're doing good, man. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling great. It's wonderful to be at home with the kids and just washing my hands, man. You know that little thing called coronavirus going on?
Let's see your hands. Let's see them clean.
Look,
There you go,
they're
man.
so clean, you can't even see them.
I love it, man. We had an amazing interview yesterday that came out that is just inspiring so many people, and I wanted to say thank you for coming on and sharing your wisdom. And a lot of people are commenting about how it's helping them right now in this time of uncertainty and fear and worry. And I know you're going through your own challenges with stuff in your life, but I wanted to see if you could share some wisdom real quick for a few minutes on, if people didn't listen to the interview, and also you have a podcast that you just launched that's talking about this stuff that people can check out. But what can people lean on to right now when there's a lot of uncertainty and people are losing money and opportunities and health risks? How do you lean into peace and love when there doesn't seem to be a lot of that in life sometimes?
Yeah, first of all, bro, thank you so much for having me on the School of Greatness. And
Of course, man.
I'm just anticipating so many people just coming back for such a time as this, just to be encouraged. And look, I feel for all the small business owners and everyone really. It's not even a segmented effect. And when we look at this worldwide effect, the first thing I think we need to do, three things, is just take a breath and know that this ain't the only problem the world has ever had. I mean, we've had 2 million people die of smallpox in 1967. When we look at the evolution, though, of
2 million
medicine,
people.
2 million people in 1967 died of smallpox. And it's not like, I'm sorry to say this, it's not belittling the pain. I'm very sorry for anyone who experiences loss of a loved one. There is nothing that can ever replace that. Suffering, pain, death comes to us all. But in this sense, it's almost this new unique curveball of the world stopping. And so it affects every single person. And so the first thing is, okay, when we have something we've never had before, just stop. Know that most of the obstacles that we've had before felt like the biggest thing ever, the first time ever, but you're going to get through it. And that's the first thing. And then to pivot from it as much as we can.
This will always end. The worst things will always end at some point, right? The Holocaust probably felt like it was going to happen forever for people in those countries who were going through horrific deaths and killings. But that eventually ended, right? So, I mean, all the diseases, eventually we find cures. I'm not saying it's easy. It's very challenging. But I think that point of knowing that this will at one point, it may not be tomorrow, it might be months, it might be a couple of years, who knows, but eventually it will pass. How do we set ourselves up for peace beyond just, okay, I know it's going to pass, but that doesn't help me with my emotional clarity right now, and uncertainty and fear and, actual tangible challenges I'm going through financially?
Yeah, absolutely. So it comes down to me. I love that definition of pivot, but the center of the centers for me is spiritual. And so when you're a man of faith and prayer, and you know that that you're going to get through this beyond your own strength right now, beyond your own understanding, that's my personal first point for me. Above and beyond that, it helps me to really anchor in and hunker in embracing the great things I still have in my life, my family, my friends. I actually felt just yesterday, it was so refreshing, Lewis, just to pick up the phone and see how a friend is doing. And, you know, not to expect that we have anything to offer as wisdom. It's just connectivity. It's really an interesting oxymoron that there were many articles talking about how we've been socially disconnected through social media, and now we're socially distancing each other. But now, even in this point, it's like, but we're not even connecting now. And I actually feel like it's a wonderful break from day to day to check in with someone. Don't just text. Call someone, hear their voice, let them hear your voice. I think family and friends are very, very important. But then, especially all the entrepreneurs, all the small business owners. Look, Lewis, I first lost 40 grand as a 19-year-old in the stock market. You heard of that bubble that was happening in 1999, 2000?
Yeah,
I was in the stock market, lost my money, 40 grand. Got back up. 2011, lost all my money again in January 2011. And when I told my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, I said, babe, I lost all my money. She said, don't worry, I'll get a nursing job and support the both of us.
Wow.
And so pivoting from that now to, wow, here we are, no speaking engagements, right?
And this is your business is based off of speaking engagements.
I mean, it's now we're pivoting to coming along lines with, I'm going to say providence, that I met a guy called Lewis Howes who looked at me without me even being panicked and said, Nick, you're doing a disservice to the people who ever know anything about you by you not putting content up regularly through the internet. What are you doing?
That's it, man.
And you said it in a nice way. And I'm like, man, I would love to.
You know what?
And here I am, and you're the first Instagram Live, and you've given me, bro, sorry, I know you want to say something, but I just want to say thank you, because
of course,
you've been used to help me have the courage, you and Ed Milet, to really say, Nick, start up a new website, do this, do that, start a podcast, get into it, because you have the authority to talk about hope. You have the authority of reframing obstacles into opportunities. No one's going to say that, oh, Nick's BS. Like, they're going to see that, oh my gosh, this guy without arms and legs now is pivoting to say, here it is. Yep, we're all suffering. Yep, things have changed, but we got to pivot and see obstacles into opportunities.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? I hate this sometimes, but sometimes it takes a breakup, a near-death experience, a loss of a job, or a loss of your current revenue stream in order for us to see things in a new way and take a chance on something new that maybe we weren't clear about or was unsure of or were scared of a little bit. And you've probably been hearing people tell you for a couple of years, like, hey, you should have a podcast. And now you've got one, and it's amazing. I listened to the first episode. It's really powerful. You probably heard people say you should put out your own content on YouTube. You should be doing more on social media. And it's just been growing organically to tens of millions of people over the last few years with just you speaking in front of hundreds of thousands of people around the world in person. And unfortunately, but fortunately at the same time, you're able to pivot because you're forced to now. And it's giving you a sense of, okay, well, I don't have the option anymore. I have to do this. And maybe that's what I've, you know, your spiritual calling has been forced, you know, telling you to do for a while, but you've been resistant. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying it's like, okay, well,
oh, it's an awesome thing. It's like, dude, I was like, it's a wake-up call.
It's scary.
Was. I mean, it's very scary. It's very scary. I went through a little numbness, a little panic, talking to my team. I'm like, man, my knees are shaking, right? But we're going to just take one day at a time, put our
You can't hold your hand still.
You can't hold your hand still. But, you know, when was the last time that anyone lost a job? You know, no one stays in a job for 40 years, generally speaking. Right. Entrepreneurs, they become bankrupt, you know, twice.
Or they sell their company and they reinvent. They do something new. It's very rare to do something for 50 years consistently.
Yeah, and this is amazing. Can I tell you as well, this has been an interesting moment. You know what, Lewis? This is the pinnacle of pinnacles for me today. I think we should really look up, first of all, the definition of pivot, because it's my favorite new word. conviction and pivot. And glad for everyone to be encouraged through our podcast together. Guys, check it out. Go to Lewis Howes right now. If you're watching me on my account, go follow Lewis Howes. He's a brilliant, genuine man, big heart, who just wants to invest in your future and give you courage as well. And we had a wonderful time. It was a couple of weeks ago that we recorded it. So check out the School of Greatness. But next week on my podcast, we'll talk about fear. And that's what we're talking about, right? Like, how do you let fear not cripple you? I think fear actually will cripple you more than having no arms and no legs. And I actually, 2002, you know, if Oprah's watching, Oprah, you inspired me when I was a teenager, and I've met Oprah. I was on her masterclass or some life class thing, and that was great. I gave her a hug on stage. It was a very memorable time because it was my dream to meet Oprah. It was my dream to give her a hug. And one day I want to have a coffee with her. Maybe we'll have a virtual coffee soon. But no joke, I saw Oprah and back in 2000, right?
Wow.
I'm
20
thinking,
years ago.
Literally 20 years ago. And I said to myself, I want to have a platform that I can influence people with hope. And I always thought it was a TV talk show. TV talk shows don't work anymore. It's this.
Right.
It's this right here, right now. Like, it's you, me, Instagram, live, bang. So this is an incredible day for me to tell people that Nick Vujicic and Lewis Howes aren't different from you. We go through fear.
Yeah.
We go through revolution. We go through stops and wake-up calls as well. And we just want you all to know to keep on going. Take one day at a time, and you will get back up and keep going.
I love that, man. And when, you know, you were mentioning that over the last few weeks, you had some fearful moments yourself. I have probably, because I've been doing so much training, and I think I've been prepared for this moment in the sense of my business, at least in today, you know, maybe something changes next week or in a month, but I feel pretty prepared right now. Things will be taking a hit a little bit, but it's not a big hit for me based on the nature of the business I have, that I've been able to be calm and peaceful and be more of a support for other people right now who are feeling a sense of fear. But you, I know, were feeling fearful for a couple of weeks when all this kind of hit and you started to see, you know, a dip in certain things in a bigger way. How does someone like yourself, who is so faith-based, who's so spiritual-based, not allow it to consume you and fall even darker emotionally or spiritually? But how did you keep a level head beyond appreciating what you have?
You know, I had to be upfront and humble with my team, upfront and humble with everyone around me to say, hey, can you pray for me? We don't even know what this even looks like. Absolutely.
Wow.
Prayer is so powerful. When you can't even pray for yourself in the right way, that's number one. Have people pray for you.
Wow.
The second thing that I love is Psalm 91. It's a beautiful anchoring psalm it's actually a part of the Bible. The Jewish
quote? What's the quote? Yeah.
Oh, it's a long.
Okay.
Yeah, it's scripture. It's like it's a beautiful thing.
Okay,
it's not
cool.
just a quote, but it's basically,
down.
yeah, but I could find you a verse, but it's, I have no hands right now, and you're on the phone, and I can't do anything right now. It's the understanding that 1,000 may fall on your left and 10,000 on your right. But you can stand knowing that the faithfulness of God is with you, that he loves you, that he won't forget you, he'll never leave you, that the strength that we don't have, he's the one that gives you. And so the strength. And so to the Jewish believers, it's the Torah. To the Christians, it's the Old Testament. And it's a beautiful scripture that helps us to always understand we live here temporarily and heaven is real. And until I get there, I just want to encourage many people as possible. And so that's how the faith, to know that we never go hungry, Lewis. We never will go hungry. We could die of cancer. Absolutely. We could die of coronavirus. Absolutely. But it's a promise that we will never go hungry. He'll always give me what I need. So that's the paraphrasing of why I have an anchor in faith. And then, you know, if anyone wants to know more about that, they can go to life.limbs.org. I have a nonprofit organization that I give spiritual things going on there, and actually our social media there as well. Find it LWL Hope. We'll be actually doing more live things, because I think, Lewis, at this time, a lot of people are asking those bigger spiritual questions. Who am I? Why am I here? Why would there be
So much pain and
this
suffering.
catastrophe?
Yeah.
And so that's that. But anyone who doesn't want to hear about faith as much, you can find me on Nick Vujicic, and I'll do my best to encourage you and give you the tools to pivot, give you the tools for encouragement from day to day. But yeah, the core for me, if anyone wants to know that, for me, it's faith, and to know that we're in this all together, one day at a time.
And tell us about your podcast. The first one just came out. You'll be doing it once a week right now, or twice a week?
Okay, so we're doing once a week right now. I'm actually, Lewis, I would love to actually interview you for my podcast one of these days, man. Because there's a lot of people that follow me. It's so weird, man. We've got 12 million social media fans, and I'm now starting my YouTube channel. Wow. Can you imagine? You're
crazy, man.
I didn't even know what monetization is yet on YouTube. So I'm catching up, and basically we want to get the podcast up to a weekly rhythm of 20-minute monologue with me, and then a 40-minute interview. I would love to interview anybody that you think I should interview, but I would love to first interview you and give your story. I've seen your documentary. I've been inspired by a documentary, and I'd love to interview you, Lewis, if you don't mind. We'll do it across video feed as well.
Of course.
And yeah, so basically twice a week, Nick Vujicic podcast. Check it out. Brand new website, nickvujicic.com. Dude, we haven't even done anything with people who've joined in with on our people who want to join me. Like, I'm now learning this, so be patient with me. But podcast weekly, yes, it's up. And next week we've already recorded it. It's about fear, and the following week about that is not just breaking down fear and how do we really face our fears with courage, but we're going to continue to go into using attitudes to reframe impossibilities. And I'm not stopping this, because just like you have experienced, even when a threat of recession comes, people are still looking for hope. People are still, and there's a way to pivot. And so I'm just thankful that you have given me a hand in mentorship, in coaching, and to help me say, Nick, you should really consider this. So thank you for your love, man.
Of course, man. I'm excited for you. This is even though it's a very challenging time for everyone, I'm excited for you to be able to learn how to pivot the right way to serve people, to serve humanity at the highest level. And that's what you were born to do. So make sure you guys check out Nick's podcast, Nick Vujicic, on Apple, Spotify, all those places. He's on Instagram, obviously. He's got 10 million fans on Facebook, so go check him out there. What's a final thought we can leave people with for the day to give them some peace, some clarity, some inspiration? A quote you like, or a message you'd like to share?
Look, we even just did a webinar last week, and it was just helping people to know it's going to be okay.
Yeah,
that's it. Don't give up. Never, never, never quit. And when you give yourself permission to understand that, first of all, change of circumstance isn't your status of failure. Your status of being employed or not does not determine your value. And you embracing this time to say, I'm going to get through it. I'm going to be more thankful for everything I have. Food never tasted so good as it does now.
Right?
To be thoughtful of people who are not in a country right now, like America, who are in the undeveloped countries. This is not a time just for self. This is to reach out to friends, to reach out to family, to make sure that we continue a mode of generosity, and not just self-preservation, but to be aware of our surroundings once we're self-aware. To know that our words and actions can affect other people, and together we'll grow stronger when we get to the other side.
Snap. High five.
Pound it.
Love you, man. Appreciate you, brother. This was inspiring. Thanks for taking the time. I'm excited to hear more of your podcasts. And make sure everyone go follow Nick on Instagram right now. Inspiring guy. Love you, man. Appreciate you. We'll chat soon, man.
Lewis, thanks so much. Bye, everyone. Cheers.
Amazing. Love it. Nick Vujicic in the house. If you guys enjoyed that, go ahead and leave a yes in the comments if you enjoyed that with Nick. Nick has inspired me. I said, hey, man, we just had him on the podcast of the day, and it's just been blowing up. So if you haven't listened to the episode, it's really powerful, inspiring to give you a sense of perspective right now on your life, on how to really navigate these times. And I said, hey, man, let me know if you want to do a live real quick and just let people know what we're thinking about and inspire people. And he said, yes. This was already 20 minutes ago. We jumped on and made it happen, seeing a lot of yeses come through. So, and a lot of people saying they enjoyed the podcast as well. If you want me to do more of these lives, little 10, 15-minute lives with people I've interviewed, celebrity friends of mine to share their thoughts, experts. Obviously, I've got long form stuff on my podcast and YouTube. But if you want more shorter stuff, like 10, 15, 20 minutes like this, type in me right now. Type in me. If I see over 100 me's come through, then I'll do more of these like this. If you enjoyed stuff quick, real, raw, to the point, open, all that stuff. So again, type in me right now. I'm seeing a lot of people chatting and sharing. Me. Okay, me. Just getting into these lives. Said Manda good. Okay. Me said bootstrapping baby. Hello from Iran. Me. Love this. And also, we're going to be sending out an email announcement later tonight about how to build a side hustle. If you feel like right now is a challenging time for you financially, your career you're unsure about, if you're going to be around in your job for a while, if you have a business and it's hurting you right now, and you want to learn how to build a side hustle. 12 years ago, I was in a very challenging place in my life during the economy when it crashed in 2008. I was living off 3 credit cards, was living on my sister's house for free for a year and a half, was really struggling emotionally. I had no money. I was in college, student loan debt, all that stuff. And within a couple of years, I built a side hustle business that generated over $1 million. If that's something you're interested in learning about, and to be honest, the School of Greatness was actually a side hustle in the beginning. 7 years ago when we launched this was a side hustle business that has now, gone on, afforded me the ability to write a New York Times bestseller, speak all over the world, create best-selling programs online, all that stuff. This was a side hustle 7 years ago that I learned how to build into a thriving multiple 7-figure business, doing something that I love deeply. So if that's something you want to learn about, then I want you to shoot me a text right now. I'll put the text in here, 614-350-3960. If you text me right now, then I will shoot you a text later tonight or tomorrow, the latest. We're setting up the page right now. See if I can get this to work. So I just put the text in there right now. You can screenshot this. Go ahead and screenshot this on your phone. And if you text me right now, 614-350-3960, I'll send out a link to a free webinar where I'll be teaching this Friday about how to build a side hustle business, how to figure out what skill sets you have already. In 2008, I thought I had 0 skills. I didn't have a college degree yet. I feel like I didn't have any skills. And I learned quickly how to develop the skills within me to go build that business, to make $500 a month and turn it into $1,500 a month and turn it into $5,000 a month and $25,000 a month and beyond. So it took me some time to figure this out on my own. And I want to share with you all the strategies I learned personally on how you can do this yourself. It's a free training. Text me right here. Just type in side hustle or Instagram or whatever you want to say in the text, and you'll get an automated reply from me. And then I'll send you more text, weekly inspiration as well from there as well. So shoot me a text right there. And if you're out of the country, if you're outside of the USA, you can just go to my website, lewishowes.com, and opt in there. And when you opt in for the newsletter, we'll send that out later tonight as well. So lewishowes.com, if you're in Pakistan or Australia or Germany, like everyone's asking about, China, go to lewishowes.com, opt in right there on the homepage, and we will send you an email if you sign up for our newsletter. Turkey, a lot of people in here, a lot of people saying that you want more of these types of content. So I'm excited that you guys like this, and we'll do more of this stuff. I appreciate you guys. Love you. We'll talk to you soon. Big thanks to Nick. Make sure you go follow him. Great guy, inspiring man. We'll see you guys.